Hey guys, what's going on? Another round of discount sales at Plugin Alliance. You're getting those emails, I'm sure, as well, and you're wondering, well, which one is a good buy? Which one should I pass on? Some of these deals are, compared to their regular prices, okay, when is regular, right, are superb deals. But before you become a plugin collector and buy this all, you can be a little bit selective about it. Some people have the subscription, and some people are very granular about what they buy. I don't know every single plugin that Plugin Alliance has, but most of them. So I'm gonna talk to you what stands out and what you should maybe jump on. Sorry, that little noise there is my jacket on a fresh morning here with my morning coffee rubbing against my studio desk. So in this case, by the time you see this, the sale might be active or not, but trust me, there's another one. Every other day there's a sale where they basically, any plugin, $29.99. It's either that or, any two plugins for $50. And then there's a low starting price. And then, normally it's, let's say this plugin here, Opticom XLA3 is $299. And then goes to $34.99, and then you can get it for $29.99. Whatever, there's 3 rounds of it, so you can buy 3 plugins. Okay, let's see what we have here. We're gonna just go down this list. From this row here, what I would recommend, here are my personal thoughts, and this doesn't have to be your thought. It's just my instinct, my reaction to that. The Opticom, too colored. Adapter Audio Sculpt, too complicated. There's too much going on. And also it needs an update. I'm not sure if it's resizable by now, but hell no. Streamliner is great. It gives you the ability to check different standards, streaming platforms. I would buy that. It's a good tool, but it needs an update. So I know they're working on one. So maybe wait till the update comes or buy it now when you can get it for $29.99. That's worth it. The Amek EQ 200, people are pretty, divided about it between that and the 250. They're based on different EQs. Both are very good. That, analog feel, that analog vibe. These are very, very good. You have a lot of things you can do with them. So mid-side processing, you have very good filters, high pass, low pass. It doesn't have auto gain. What a surprise. Bettermaker is a great EQ. Didn't make it into my batch because it's just, I think it just needs an update. It's just too small. It's blurry graphics. Doesn't matter how good it is. I need to be able to kind of enjoy working with it. So I don't have that one. Blackbox HG2. Well, in that case, you might as well get the HG2MS, which is mid-side processing, and so you can saturate the sides. It just has more options. It also has that filter built in. So I would definitely go for the HG2MS. That's a very solid box. My buddy Eric Racy, he's been involved in developing this. So Blackbox analog design. It's an awesome plugin. And this is sort of the real world, and this is sort of the updated version that just makes total sense in the digital world. I skip these older Brainworx plugins like BX2098 EQ just because they've been out for a while and nobody's saying anything bad about them, but I'm not reading that they're a must-have, so never messed with that. The Amek 9099, I do have that plugin. It's absolutely fantastic. You can do a lot of things with that. There's a video on my channel comparing this to the Schoeps Omni channel. Between this and the Schoeps Omni channel 2 now, I would probably go with the Schoeps Omni channel. It's just more of a workhorse, and with 2 De-Essers built in, so you can target frequencies. So basically 2 dynamic EQs built in. The Schoeps has a leg up. Focusrite, I have it, I don't use it. BX Console N. I demoed it, not bad, you can skip that. The SSL, so all of these I had at one point. Full disclosure, I have the SSL ecosystem, the UC1, the UF8, the UF1, all that stuff. And so I'm using the SSL version of that, which is excellent. But if I wouldn't have that, there are two channel strips that are excellent from Brainworx. It's the SSL 4000E. Such a pleasure to work with. But the one that hasn't been on sale for a while because it's their coveted special plugin. It's a 9000J. So if you're doing hip hop, if you want that nice bottom, the 9000J is a great channel strip. Crispy Tuner, I'm hearing good things about it. Digital V3, skip that one. BX Limiter True Peak is a very good limiter. I would look into it if you excuse me, if you want a limiter that's $29. It's hard to beat. You can push into it really, really hard. So a lot of reduction and still get a clean tone out of it. So it's one of the best limiters out there, to be honest, and probably underrated. Masterdesk, well, if anything, do Masterdesk True Peak. It has a better limiter. Other than that, it's pretty similar. It's a pretty good plugin. Do you need that? Well, it's a matter of opinion. This is not what mastering is, but it gives you maybe a preview where the problems are and gives you a quick and dirty, improved mix. So it could live on your mix bus instead of, let's say, an SSL bus compressor and a limiter. So you could have both there. So yeah, it has its uses. BX Oberhausen sounds great. It's a great instrument. Yeah, it really does sound great. BX Room MS. It's a reverb where you can work with the sides a lot. It's a good reverb. I recommend it. Saturator V2, don't know it. Sub-synth, not really a fan of these sub-generators, to be honest. I'd rather do that by using samples and using another, say a kick. I would just use another layer of kick, two different kicks. The Townhouse bus compressor, absolutely fantastic. Probably one of the best SSL G-style bus compressors out there. It brings energy to whatever you throw onto it. So this limiter, not too many people talk about it. I've never used it. The design is old. It needs updating. So yeah, not for me. BAX EQ, a must for mastering. Absolutely fantastic. It's like these gentle curves that can gently lift the low and the high, but very, very gentle. So it's a BAX and all EQ. Highly recommended. dearVR music. I went to NAMM this year, and yeah, dearVR has something going on with how they mix in Dolby Atmos, and they're using their tools. And I'm not sure how this fit into it, but they demoed in the Neumann Hall, where Neumann had its speakers. They were demoing Atmos with dearVR, so their version of spatial audio. So maybe I shouldn't use the term Atmos, but it was very interesting how they used their plugins. So take a look at these. These are good, but you really have to have a reason for it and you have to know how to use them. Tantra 2, don't know it. Thorn, don't know it. Here we go, Alpha Compressor. Great plugin, everybody's raving about it. This is so tiny. It's not much bigger than this thumbnail here in reality. Makes it unusable. On a high definition, on a 4K screen, whatever, 27, 32 inches is 4K, 5K. This becomes so small and blurry. And they keep saying we are updating the GUI. We're gonna make it high res. Hasn't happened yet. So people are paying for this and they're getting, I don't know what Plugin Alliance is thinking, releasing new plugins without fixing this. Same thing for Impressor. Great plugins. I would never use them just based on that. Phil's Cascade, tried it, pretty good. Take a look. Tapeface is fantastic. That is a recent plugin that's now at a great deal. So of all of these, so far, if there's one that that we've seen so far, I want to put your attention to it is Kiive Audio Tapeface. It's got oversampling. You can just dial in the right amount. So this is a great tape plugin. My favorite tape plugin of all tape plugins is the Universal Audio ATR 102. It does something, I don't know. But this one's different, so you can own both. Knif Audio or Knif Audio, whatever. Knif Knifionium, fantastic. Heavy on the CPU, but good lord, it has thick tones. Knif Soma, love it. It has that warmth, tone, gentle. It's not a super surgical EQ, but I do recommend it. So of the 3 EQs that you've seen before, the Amek 200 and the 250, you could have one of the Ameks and one of this one here. This one is fantastic. Lindell 254E, pass on these. Lindell Audio 50 series, it's great if you like the API style channel strip. But using it, with the, it's a little bit confusing. It makes sense in the real world, it's easy, but in a plugin, I find the Plugin Alliance SSL channel strips easier to use. This guy gets a lot of good reviews. 902 Lindell Audio, 902 De-Esser, big fan, fantastic De-Esser. Channel 9, don't know it. Lindell Audio MBC, so that's a multi-band compressor that used to be super expensive after the regular API 2500 compressor came out. This one, the SBC. And then there's a multi-band compressor. So if you own the SBC, at least I did, I got the MBC for free. I think that's over now, so don't complain if I'm telling you this. This is a great multi-band compressor. I think maybe the SSL multi-band compressor is better. The one that just came out, the G multi-band, that's the one. But this is pretty good as well. And definitely the SBC, the regular 2500. This SBC compressor is fantastic. Lindell Audio TE100. Put that on a drum bus. Put it anywhere. It sounds good automatically. It gives things weight. The Maag Audio, tiny. Great, of course, for the airband. I'm not using the airband a lot, to be honest. So I thought that's one of the plugins I thought I was going to use a lot. I don't. Skip that. Skip the Millennia. I say skip. I skipped. Skip that one as well. Neold, oh my god, so good. Big L, fantastic. Tube saturation. Neold U17, great on guitars, great compressor. Neold Warble gives you that dirty tape, but like as an effect. It's fantastic. So I would probably, between those 3 Neolds or 4 Neolds, that's a tough one. You should demo them. They are all fantastic. Pro Audio DSP, hearing good things about it, never tried it. Shadow Hills Mastering Compressor, Class A or Class B. They are great. Confusing design. Once you get used to it, they look great. When they came out, I was like, I gotta have it. They sound good too. I just don't think those are necessary tools to have. They're not precise enough for mastering. De-Esser Collection SPL is very good. Tiny user interface. You're buying a 12-year-old plugin, but it works and it's good. Hey, up to you. Hawkeye, hearing great things about it, but there's newer plugins of metering and stuff out there that you may look into it. But for for $29, yeah, probably. SPL Iron, fantastic. Gets a little bit, you need to get used to it. I like the SPL Iron. Passeq is great too, mostly for lifting the low end, for working on a kick. The SPL Passeq is great. Passive EQ. Then there's the PQ. Well, that's I really love working with this one. The Vitalizer, a magic trick, a magic tool. Some people swear by it. It does something no other plugin does. It's mystery from the late 90s in a plugin. Try it out. This one is kind of always on sale. The Tomo Elysia, super confusing layout of a super expensive box, of a real hardware, deluxe, luxury, blah, 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 dynamic EQ, $15,000 hardware, whatever. Yes, it is a great plugin, a little bit confusing. The nice thing is it can be scaled across a 45-inch monitor like mine is, and then it's bigger than the actual hardware. It's really good. Could you do better or easier in a FabFilter Pro Q3 for dynamic EQs or Waves F6? Probably it's less confusing, you know more what's going on. But demo it and see if you're actually going to use it. having it is one thing, but actually using it, passing on those two. They're great tone shapers. Anything Unfiltered Audio does is usually pretty different and interesting, so I wouldn't dismiss them. I just don't know those two, but I own the LoFi-AF. Great to distort and destroy audio, so it's a great plugin. I've tested Silo. Again, super for the creative user. I recommend it if that's what you're looking for. Tails, I have it. It's a great reverb with ducking, so you have more control about, like when you have a phrase and reverb and it gets muddy because the reverb is still going on while the person is singing or whatever, so you can control like the tails of it, and so when the person is singing, the reverb calms down and so forth. It's something you can achieve, of course, with putting a compressor on a reverb, send and return, but it's not the same thing. You have way more options with this. Triad, I don't know. Vertigo VS2, big recommendation. This is, again, a VCA style compressor. Probably one of the best. It doesn't work on everything, but I think it's a must-have. VSM3, great. A little bit confusing box. Not a must-have, but very nice. Keyman, Matcha, Oolong, haven't tried those because I play guitar and I play the bass. But if you try those out, instrument plugins for $29 is usually a pretty good deal. Now we're getting into deals that are even less. This is a tough one. I'm just going to point out the ones I own. I own the B15N. I used to own that at Universal Audio, where it's like 10 times the price. Great bass amp, colors a lot. You can use it, to use a DI signal and then split it and then use just this for coloring and, do like a parallel processing. I love the Amek SVT3 Pro. All my rehearsals are done on this guy in a real world. It has like that scooped mids and that weight and heftiness. I don't think for a plugin it's necessary. It's great for actually playing live. But for recording, producing and stuff, I don't think it's ideal. But if you own this and you want a replica of this, oh yeah, it's pretty close. Of these, what do I own? I own the SVT-VR. That is a great plugin, bass plugin, the Ampeg. There's a classic version. Somehow, some people get the classic for free, but if you want to buy one, this is the same thing. It's just an extra channel, so it includes what the classic does, but then it has like another channel on top. So as you have two options, then of course go for this guy. And it also has more impulse responses. So yeah, if everything's equal or almost the same price, gotta go for this guy. V4B, haven't tried it yet. Seems to be very special. Bass Dude, it's pretty cool. Tried it for a minute, sounded great. Skipping all of these, too dated for me, these plugins. Too dated. Delay 2500, great plugin. You can move, not all plugins allow you to easily move just the delay to one side and keep, let's say, moving the source to the left and the plugin to the right. If you do that with send and return, that's sometimes a little bit difficult. Easy to use, and you can saturate, you can distort, you can put a wah-wah effect, and so you can really separate the reverb, put it anywhere you want. The delay anywhere you want it to be, and also the timing options, and it has ducking built in and modulation, distortion, all that. Mid-side, great, super flexible delay for mixing, because a lot of delays sound great when you put it on an instrument by themselves. They sound probably better than this, but then in the mix it becomes wonky. Too dated. When I say too dated, I just mean at this point in 2023, or even like 3 years ago, I didn't mess with it, so I didn't try it. Too dated for me. All of them, nothing is bad. A lot of people say these plugins are pretty good and use it on a daily basis. So just me. Limiter, no need at this point. Don't know this guy. What do I know? The BX meter, yeah, I got that in other plugins. The Opto is a good compressor. It's an LA2A minus the coloration. I do like the coloration on an LA2A, so why would I get rid of it? So I never used this one. Pan EQ. So this is interesting. I haven't tried this. The panoramic EQ by BX allows you to adjust frequencies at any discrete position of the stereo field. Well, I do that in Ozone. This seems to be pretty good. Seems to be a pretty similar way of doing it. I have to play with it. Refinement, haven't used it. Rocker gain, all of them sounded too digital for me. Stereomaker, be careful with that one. You can really screw up. BX Tuner is a great tuner. Can't believe that Universal Audio charges for this guy. Well, they do too, so I don't know. Channel limited, I like it. I have it, $9.99. All of these amps you can get for a much higher price than Universal Audio. But then again, if you plug that in and you play in real time, there's no delay. It's guaranteed. Character is a great saturator, coloring box with mid-side. I own it. I think I got it for free. Maybe you can get it for free too. So I highly recommend it. Too small of a user interface. Again, tiny, like a postage stamp. Envelope is a transient shaping tool. Never used it, but yeah, it's probably going to be good. Bucks and Betty, I used to own that in Universal Audio. Great, thick, hefty tone. Really, I like that in my collection. I also had the Fuchs, which means fox in German, Fuchs. That is a great plugin. Gallian-Kruger bass amp. That sounds too harsh and digital to me. I own the 7X500. That's a quick, dirty compressor that I use on a lot of sources. Yes, good one. These ones I don't own. This is the same as the EQ4, pretty much. Character, I'm hearing good things about the Noveltech stuff. Check it out. It's a bit under the radar, a bit underrated. But for $9, I own the MC77. That's a great emulation of the Purple Audio 1176. It's a little bit different, but great. I mean, great features, mid-side. You can link the input and the output. So yeah, it's got a lot of features that makes it a joy to work with. TACA Plus, De-Verb Plus, these SPL transient design tools. I think this goes, both of them are basically the transient designer. This is just, looks at the attack. This looks at the decay, but I think you can get those in one plugin. It's very good. Drum Exchanger, had it, don't really use it. Yeah, so it's a Transient Designer Plus where you have those two, basically those three. And this one just this is crazy. They took this plugin and they made it into 3 little plugins. Might as well buy this one. I haven't used this one. Oh, here we go. Bass Mint, great. You can really do something to your low end. You can completely go overboard, or you can just add a little subtle oomph to something that doesn't have it. Recommend it for $19.99. Are you kidding me? Fall G8, Indent 2. Don't use them. Needlepoint, I tried. That's a great record player, turntable emulator. Really good. So much cheaper than all the other ones that's out there. I feel like Unfiltered Audio, maybe because it doesn't sell so well, drops in price quite a bit, but super creative stuff. If you are into creating wonky, crazy stuff, that's it. That is it. And the good thing is not too many people use these. So it's not that, it's not like a Waves plugin or something. This, you'd actually be able to really mangle your audio. Now we're coming into these guys here. These are not on sale. Yeah, all the new stuff, the really cool, the really good stuff. I shouldn't say that, is never on real sale. So you don't get these for $29.99. There's always the exception. Read this. This always bugs me. Check this out here. Deals not included. These are not included. No Amek mastering compressor. No Dear Reality. No Kiive Audio Extressor. No Kirchhoff. No Lindell 69. No Neold U2A, which is a fantastic LA2A version of theirs. no the oven. Sometimes the oven is. It used to be. I got it for $29. Now it no longer is. The oven is great. So going back to it, don't worry about that. You can catch those at some point in the future. And I do own the Kirchhoff. Nobody's gonna say anything negative about the Kirchhoff. $124. Is it worth it? Probably. But we're not talking about this today. We're talking about the deals and if you should jump on it. Metric AB was super cheap for a while. I bought it for $29.99 and got the update, the 1.4. So if you have the old version, no need to buy this. You get it for free. Buying this now at $179.99, between you and I, no. Took him 3 years to update these things, but they said, we're working on it, we're updating it, and it came. So between this and Streamliner, I would say, if you can support them, it seems like good guys. What else do we have here? We already saw this, so no need to go back to it. Yeah, guys, so I hope this helped you, but you can test anything for 2 weeks and then make up your own mind. Again, buy only what you need, buy only what you love. Don't buy what I'm telling you. Don't buy what anybody else is telling you. Don't become a collector. Don't buy all of them. Here's my walkthrough through all of their catalog on sale as we speak. I'm gonna do this once a year, I guess, maybe twice a year, if things change. All right, Massive Beats out. Please like and subscribe.